up, guys? Welcome back to JB's Toy Trunk for another action figure review. This time we're not really doing the action figure because I'm probably going to keep that guy on card, but we are doing a playset review. 40th anniversary, Return of the Jedi, Star Wars The Vintage Collection, Endor Bunker playset. Had it on pre-order with BBTS, canceled it with BBTS, went into a Target a couple weeks ago. Go check out that video, shameless plug, and you can see that we picked it up. I look back into my collecting when I was a kid, Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and then when Return of the Jedi came, it was like, pause. A lot of things were happening, G.I. Joe, Transformers, so my collection kind of, and Masters of the Universe, it kind of just went all over the place. So I don't have a lot of Return of the Jedi collection memories from when I was a kid. So now that we're at the 40th, I'm seeing a lot more vintage, a lot more retro, and of course, when the Star Wars The Vintage Collection puts out this Endor Bunker, I just have to have it. Building up my Return of the Jedi scenes and or collection, that's been, I guess you'd say, the goal since I got back into collecting. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and look at this box real quick. We got the front of it. You can see a nice little action scene, and you can see at the bottom left, focus in on there, you can see that the action figure has either removable helmets and or different head sculpt. We'll find out when we open it up. You have your scout troopers, your stormtroopers in the woodland scene. And then, of course, you have the one figure included up there. On the side, you have another scene set up with the scout troopers. And then, of course, the back has the same type of scene as the front, except without the Star Wars Vintage Collection up front or up top. Up top on the box, you got the arrows here showing that you can open and close these doors. And then, of course, you have a scout trooper over here with the access panel. At the bottom of the box, you have your barcode and all those fancy words, which we are not going to read today. Over here, you got Disney and Hasbro. Let's go ahead and stop talking, guys. Let's bust this thing open.
Perfect.
As soon as we busted it open, we got the warning tags and all that stuff. All right, plastic, don't eat it. Don't leave it laying around for your granddaughters to play with and put in their mouths. My granddaughter's pretty good. She doesn't do that stuff. So actually, let's go ahead and read these directions and instructions right in front of us, so we don't have to refer back to it. R1, R1, R2, R2. It's a joke. R1 right there, L1 right there. Step 2, you got your R2s. Hey, there is an R2. And then L2, L3s and L4s, R3s and R4s. Left, I'm guessing, for the L, and right, which is the R. After, of course, we turn it around 180. You Transformers peeps out there, you know what I'm talking about with these directions. L5, L6, R5, and R6. That'll be right up front. Got the Endor Bunker. And on the back, wow, there's more instructions. This is awesome. This is a JB proof. So you got the top, and then put it back the 180 to the front, and then you can have your doors right here, and you can see, sorry about that, you can see the left and the right pull tabs, I'm guessing, to open it up. You have your little access panel over here, and then, of course, probably a dial right there that R2 could probably access with his little gadgets that dude has. So that's it for the instructions. We'll put that aside. We'll see if we can figure it out from here. But before we go any further, let's take a look. Let's push this back. Let's take a gander. Yes, I gave you guys a gander of this guy right here. He is the Endor Rebel Commando Scout Trooper disguise. So, man, that looks pretty good. Yeah, I gotta keep this guy on card. I just gotta find me some other Scout Troopers to put near him. Actually, the Scout Trooper, the Endor version, or Return of the Jedi Scout Trooper and bike, probably get a couple of those and make that scene worthwhile. I might play a long game on some of those bikes just because they are so expensive. And at the same time, playing long game on those, I don't know how long they're going to last because they're pretty up there on the aftermarket. But look at the image right here. Kind of, I don't know about the, I mean, the image itself, or this, the shot from the movie is good, but I think it's like a screenshot of a screenshot. Interesting. So, I don't know what to think about that. Unpunched, pretty sturdy card. And on the back, you can see we had Admiral Piet, Hunter, Rebel Commando, which is here right here, Phase 2 Clone Trooper, Starkiller, Cassian Andor, Vel, and then the other Cassian Andor. So this one right here, Cassian Andor, and then of course this one when he's on that mission. Skipping as of right now, unless I find them in Ollies next year. Gonna skip these guys for right now for the vintage collection. I have them for the Black Series. I have Endor for the Black Series, but gonna skip these guys. I might pick up a Starkiller just to have with my Jedi collection. And then, of course, I don't know about the Clone Trooper. I might. Hunter, I might. And Admiral Piet, I probably will, just because of his character in the OT. So, there you go. That is, let me focus in. Sorry about that. Let me focus in on this. This is the Endor Rebel Commando. Not bad. I'm going to put him in a protector for right now. Try to flatten out his card and put him on the peg wall. So we'll keep him on card for a little bit. I want to do my light box, guys, so you can see, you know, with good lighting, what I'm pulling out. So I'm going to go ahead and just fast forward through a lot of this stuff, build it up, and once it's built up, we'll go ahead and talk about it.
Perfect.
All right, guys, real quick, like I was trying to show you real quick, that's the L1, L2, L3. That's an L5 and that's an L6. So I'm guessing this is an L4. Yep, L4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. We have, looks like the top of the bunker and the sides of the bunker right there. So let's keep on going. Before we keep going, you can see right here, you have the different numbers. So L4, L3, L2, L5, and L6, L1, and the same thing on the right side, R1 through R6 on this side. So we're just going to plug and play, just kind of like my Legos, just like your Legos. Let's see if we can build this bunker.
Perfect.
All right, pushing pause real quick. I brought the camera down even lower so you guys can kind of see the entrance to the doors as we finish this up. Okay, guys, we're almost at the end where we're putting a topper on, kind of like the cherry on top. It looks like these right here are going to peg or slot right into the columns up front, and then of course these grooves will be right up here to these angled pieces up front. Nice and easy. And if you guys have slide doors in your house or your apartment or condos, you know what I'm talking about, the old sliding. You got to make sure they're in the grooves, or even like some of our closets have those grooves at the top and the bottom. So make sure it gets on there. So we'll give a nice little positive push down here at the ends. A little dust right there. Guys, I think that is it. That took me, I don't know, a few minutes there, and we are done. So before we mess with the doors, I want to see if we can, yeah, so here are the panels. I'll try to, yeah. I don't know if you guys could see that. Let's go ahead and move one of my lights in there. There you go. Oh, it's got enough It's got some color, got a couple of red dots and some green dots. And then, of course, down here, oh yeah, swivels out. So R2 can do his thing. Very cool, guys. Endor Bunker. How about that? So let's go ahead and look a little bit closer. You can see here that they they use some type of plastic molding. Not so much paint, so it's probably either glued on there or, glued on there somehow. For those of you, for you artists out there, a good dry brush, not so much a dry brush, but a dark wash, excuse me, to help that stand out. And the same thing up here for the top. I mean, it's supposed to be in the woods. I think it was Northern California where they actually did it. So actually getting the colors and the different colorways of that type of terrain would really add some character to these, because they're molded plastic pieces. Maybe if there was some shading down in this area, and then of course down here along the moss or the grass down here, no movable parts or buttons on the inside left there. And then of course the same thing on this side when it comes to the moss and the grass. And then of course from the back, which whether you're displaying or doing any photography, you might actually open these doors and you could probably have your figures here with the forest in the back. And you never know, you might be able to get a good shot that way. I am going to go ahead and actually use some cardboard, a cardboard scene from my DX21 Ahsoka and Grogu hot toy. I don't plan on using that, but you see what I'm saying? You can potentially get something going where you could get a scene going with the grass in the background. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and close these doors. Let's get a little bit more light in there. You can see these doors close. The outer doors, excuse me. Let's do the inner doors, okay? And then, of course, the outer doors, which come to a snug lock right in there. So not too bad. Not too bad at all. Definitely something that will look good on the shelf. But I think there's a few things missing. Let's go see if we could find them. Even though he wasn't really at this scene, which was made famous, where Han and Leia got into the bunker because Luke was doing Luke things. And I did not pick up the ATST with Chewie just because of space and size. I might not. You got Han doing his thing. You got 3PO, out of proportion 3PO, and an R2, and then some stormtroopers, if they'll stand. I got a remnant trooper over here. He's kind of dirty, which would actually fit because of, he's dirty and all that stuff. And you can have one of the Ewoks playing the bongos on him. And then you got Wicket and Tebow doing their thing. So again, having these figures, didn't have these when I was growing up. Didn't have Ewoks when I was growing up. It's great to add the vintage collection to them. Am I going to go look for the Kenner inspired? Am I going to actually go look for the Kenner versions of these figures? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's definitely something that I want to add to the collection, because let me show you. What I like about the vintage collection playsets is they look good with retro figures, like our retro Scout Trooper and retro Han, which we just both picked up in this recent wave of the retro carded and Kenner inspired Star Wars. So these are modern. These are all modern. Now, if I went back and found a vintage Scout Trooper and a vintage Han, you get where I'm saying there, guys. I think it'd look good. Leave it in the comments. What do you think as far as mixing newer play sets with actual pretend these were Kenner figures? Is that going to work, or am I just playing myself? I think it works, especially for a display. I think it'll look good. So guys, leave it in the comments. Are you picking up the Endor Bunker? Are you passing on it just because of the price point? Are you going to play the long game? Are you excited that not only did it come, you know, like this, and it's multi-purposed, I guess you could say, but also comes with a action figure, the Endor Rebel Commando, which, you know, some of you guys would say that's Rex. Some of you guys say it's not Rex, however you guys want to say it. But what do you guys think of this playset? And also, how are you, if you're getting it, how are you going to configure it? Are you going to configure it with TVC like it was meant to be? Are you going to use retro figures that we just recently got? Or are you going to actually go and use your vintage Kenner figures for this set right here? I'm kind of curious to see what you guys think about this set, and of course, how you would display it. Thanks guys for watching. On behalf of our Rebel Commando and our dead troopers down here, and then of course our murder bears on the left and the right, Han and Leia, and the hero of all of Star Wars, R2-D2. Thanks guys for watching. Always enjoy the ride in life, guys. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.